Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Lawnmower Detective. And don't forget, it's donut time. Good morning, everybody. This is Lawnmower Detective, and I tell you what, I am excited about this project, and I hope you're going to be too. We're going to be resurrecting this old Go Kart of a customer of mine, and he wants me to resurrect it for his daughters. And just stay tuned and you'll see what happens in the transformation. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're switching from the old clutch. It's wore out, it's just beat up, and we're switching to this configuration right here. It's a belt driven. This is your drive pulley here, and this is your driven pulley here. So as the RPM speed up, this gets larger and this gets smaller. So the gear ratio changes all the time. You just basically get a lot more torque out of it. It's just dry fitted on here right now. So we'll move on to the next part. So what we're dealing with here are these mounting rails that were originally in this configuration, because the engine really only needed to be adjusted in this direction because of the way they had it. They had a chain coming from here to a jack shaft on the side of the engine, and so the only real adjustment was really needed to be in this direction. However, since we've got the new configuration with the torque converter and stuff like that, we need to turn it in this direction, right? So the engine will be mounted to these rails here, and the main thing we need to do is slide the engine this direction so the sprocket on the driven side of the torque converter lines up directly over the main drive sprocket here on the axle. So what this is going to do, it's going to give us the ability to mount the engine to these rails, and also it's going to give us adjustability in this direction as well as this direction. So you can see these original mounting holes here have some leeway to slide the engine forwards and backwards. So that's what we're going to be doing. And it's just going to take a little finagle, and once we get the engine over here and dry fitted and get a chain pretty much mocked up, we can get this in the proper orientation and make sure the new band brake doesn't hit these cross members here. And we should be fine in that aspect. So as you can see, these tires are really bald on both sides, and the main reason for that is these tie rods need to be adjusted, because that one is really far out pointing that direction. So if you straighten that one up, you see that this one is way out of kilter. So I need to bring this in to get them somewhat parallel. There's a bend in here, but I think I'm going to leave that to allow for a little bit more of adjustability, but this tie rod here definitely needs to go that direction. So just let me grab some tools and we'll get that straightened out. Okay, everybody. What we're looking at here is, this is the tie rod end right here. This is the tie rod, obviously ties the two wheel hubs together here to try to keep your front tires in sync. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this bottom nut here to remove the tie rod out completely, and we'll loosen this up as far as we can go, and we'll twist that tie rod end that direction so we can bring this that direction as well. So Yeah. While I'm doing this, guys, you know, don't forget to stop by Mick's live stream later this afternoon. It's always a good time for you regulars. You know, we like to have a good time in there. So make sure you go over and give Mick's Mowers a like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. I don't want to bore you completely with just watching me do this, so I'll take this opportunity to give a shout out to a few people. Mick's Mowers, obviously. Steve Small Engine Saloon. I hope you're doing well, brother. Tom Doby. Doc Small Engine Repair. I'm sorry, Doc, but I can't never remember your channel name, your business name. Sorry about that. I'm going to throw a sticker wall update in here as well as a mail call. So what you see me doing here is I'm adjusting this out as far as I can get it. Some paint on there, so it's taking a little bit, because I don't want to have to reinstall this and readjust it again. All right, that'll probably do it. So now that I got this nut off here, we're just going to pull the ball joint out like this and make sure that we can twist it this direction. In theory, what we're doing is we're shortening the tie rod, pulling the front of this tire that direction. And that's the same configuration on a lot of riding lawn mowers and vehicles for that matter. That's going to need some lube here in a minute. But we'll go ahead and put this in here and see if that's taking care of any of the problem. So now you can just eyeball these things. It's not rocket science, or the space shuttle for that matter. And it's definitely a lot better. Still got some room to go that direction. So let me grab some WD-40 and I'll be right back. All right. Got my WD. Put some WD on them threads. See if that makes my life any easier. Because we still got to take this that direction. What I'm afraid of is that I'm bottoming out on the inside. So we may have to finish our adjustment on the other side. I believe that's what that is. I don't want to have to cut any of the length off of this. So let me leave that where it's at. That tie rod looks a little bent too. I might be able to straighten that out a little bit. So we'll put this. I've got replacement tires for these front tires too, so that needs a little juice right there. So we'll also go ahead and tighten this jam nut back down. And we'll finish our adjustment on the other side over there. There we go. So that's pretty straight there. If I didn't put my head in your way. So let me slide over here to the other side. Take you with me. Y'all see that all right? You're gonna be working over my shoulder on this one. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. So we moved over here to the other side, and I'm trying not to get my head in the way or bump the camera stand. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing here. We're gonna loosen this tie rod jam nut. Take it back as far as we can so we can have some more adjustability. And I'll be walking behind you here in just a minute to double check that side over there. So basically the concept here is we're trying to bring the front wheels parallel with each other because they were kind of like this. So we're trying to I guess it's called toe in. We're going to toe the tires in this way so they're parallel with each other as much as possible. So now we were bringing that tire this direction. Now we have to bring the front of this tire that direction because we're out of adjustability on that side. That's what we're doing. I don't know if I'm giving you the proper terminology or techniques or what, but this is how I'm going to do it. I do the same thing on riding lawn mowers if they need to have their steering adjusted. Now sometimes they're excuse me, sometimes they're so far out of adjustment that you actually have to come in here and take the end of the tie rod off so you can have some more adjustability in that direction. But hopefully we're not going to have to do that on this one. And I do have new front tires for this that need to be mounted. They're a nice tire too. Oregon tires. Part number 58-021 if anybody's looking for some. Can't wait to get those on. This is a pretty straightforward process. I mean, it's not hard to do. It just could be a little time consuming, but it needs to be done or else one, it's not going to handle right, and two, the tires are going to wear out again, just like this here. Because on these little Go Kart, since there's really not much of a suspension, there's a lot of stress put on these tires every time you take a turn because people like to really wrench on these things. Put a little tiny bit of WD on there. We've got some other parts for this thing that have come in recently. We've got a seat belt and a kill switch. That's going to be cool. Seat belt, I prefer that myself. There we go. So we're going to tighten this in. This is actually moving really well. And that's bottoming out right there. So we'll put that back in there and see where we're at. Let's see where that gets us. All right, so this one's parallel with the frame. Ooh, nice. Just a little more on this side. Tiny bit, maybe one more turn if I can get a turn out of it. Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. Gotta get a little more on it. Let's see where that gets us. This side's parallel, and so is this side. So we are there, ladies and gentlemen. right where we want to be. So now all we got to do is put things back together, and that solves the toe in or toe out problem. Like I said, I don't know all the terminology on these things, so please feel free to leave some comments so I know my terminology. I like to learn things from you all. I don't want to be running around here saying the wrong thing, you know. Now that's going to need another wrench on there. I'll tighten all that stuff up, but we're going to run the jam nut down now. Also, you guys don't forget to stop by Ken's small engine repair live stream in the morning. I believe it's 8 o'clock Eastern time, US. He is full of all kinds of information, and we always have a good time there. Whenever I get a chance to pop in there, I'll be at work, but I'm probably be in the chat. So the worst part about it is that all this is probably going to have to come apart, so I can sand it all down, and it's going to get a paint job. Paint job's going to be a surprise, so stay tuned for that. And I think that's actually going to do it with this first episode. I don't want to make them too long. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Like I said, I'm really excited about this project, and I hope you're going to be too. Stick with me along this journey, and we'll get through this. We're going to learn a few things from each other along the way, hopefully. So don't forget to, like, share, and comment anything that you see that you have concerns with, or if you just want to offer me some advice on this whole build, I highly appreciate that. So until I see you all again, don't forget, it's donut time. So here we are doing the sticker wall update. We've got Ken Small Engine Repair, Savage Small Engines, Steve the Transit Camper, let's see, Matt Small Engines, we got Rich from Mowers and Blowers Outdone. Let's see, who else is new? There's Doc, DRH. Then there's Andrew Thorne and some new Terrell stickers. Those are always pretty cool. And of course, let's just go ahead and go through the rest of them here. We've got KB Small Engine Repair. We got Rusty Rooster, Tinker and Taylor, AJP, Henry Morosky, Big Dog Dad, Mixed Mowers, another AJP, and Scotty Daniel. Scotty, I want to give you a shout out for all of the air filters that you sent to me off of my Amazon wish list. Thank you, Scotty Daniel. Some more Mixed Mowers here. We've got Rayleigh's, David Kernut, Top Conker, and the infamous guy with only a face only a mother could love. That's Tom Dobie Repair. So that's the current configuration of the sticker wall. Oh yeah, don't forget this guy right here. I hear he's okay, but I don't know. Yeah. So that's the new sticker wall in its current configuration. So thank you all for that. Thank you for all your support. And again, Scotty Daniel, thank you for the Briggs & Stratton Classic air filters. Appreciate that, man.
This is Scotty Daniel from across the pond, telling you it's donut time.
It has been a pleasure having you all here. Please don't forget to give this video a like, and please subscribe. Last but not least, click the notification bell so you will know when new videos are posted. Thanks to all of you for your support.